Hey, welcome back to the channel. So today we have got Summer Killer by Gren P78. Let's just jump into some rules real quick. No need for a big intro or anything like that. So what do we have? We've got normal Sudoku rules apply. So we've got every row, every column, and every 3x3 box contains digits 1 through 9 each. Now we've got digits in cages, may not repeat, and they must sum to the given total. As you can see, there are a ton of cages on this puzzle. In fact, it appears that they fill up the entire grid. So what do the cages mean? So what we said here, let's say this 22 cage. So all three of these digits, whatever they may be, and they cannot repeat, must be added together, and sum up to 22. Simple enough, right? Then we've got cells separated by a V, must sum to 5. So these are V clues. Try not to mistake them for, well, in this case, it doesn't. It's kind of hard to mistake it for, but if you're not thinking about it, sometimes you can mistake these for greater than or less than symbols, but these are V clues. So it just means that these two digits, whatever they are, must sum to 5. And they've got cells separated by an X, sum to 10. So the same concept as the V, but instead of 5, those two cells must equal 10. And then we've got cells with arrows facing inward must contain numbers less than all orthogonal cells. So that means these two are the only ones that are here that have that qualifier, but just means that this digit must be lower than all 4 of the cells around it. And this one only has 3 cells around it because it's on the edge of the grid. So those are the rules of Summer Killer. And let's jump into this one and see what we do. Now, like I said at the beginning, this is every single bit of this grid is covered in clues. So we got to find some clues that are going to be easy to figure out. Now, my initial intention would be to just put our, or look at our V clues. That's on my shirt there. Because there's only 2 ways to make 5 in normal Sudoku. It's 1, 4, and 2, 3. But as I looked at them, I do see something here. We have a V clue in a 10 cage. The 10 cage is 3 digits in size. 2 of them must equal 5, so the remaining one must be a 5. Is there anything else like that? Doesn't appear to be. None of the X clues do something like that, and the other V clues do not. We do have a 3 clue down here, which is nice. So there's only one way to make 3 in 2 cells. It's 1, 2. So we can put those in for now. And then, well, I think I am going to mark these because I see something that might give us a little bit of information, although it probably won't take us very far. So like I said, the only ways to make 5 are 1, 4, and 2, 3. We do have a 1, 2 here, which tells us that both of these cannot be a 1. Oh, no, it doesn't tell us anything. I'm being silly. So it doesn't tell us anything, does it? Because these could both be 1, 4, and this could be a 2. Essentially what this means is the 2 is just going to determine what this V clue is, whether it be a 1, 4, or 2, 3. Now, what else do we have? Well, looking at this column 9, we do have something semi-interesting. So we've got a 20 here, we've got an 8 here, and we've got a 26 that extends out. It's almost the entirety of the row, but not, or the column, but not quite. So does that give us any real information? Well, we know if this is 20 and this is 8, that's 28. We know that by basic Sudoku, every row, column, and 3x3 box contains the digits 1 through 9 once each, and we know that 1 through 9, when added all together, equals 45. So what we are left over with is 17 that can go in here. Now, if 17 has to go in these digits, because these are 20 and 8, that means that this last digit has to get from 17 to 26, which means this is a 9. Which is going to give us our 1 and our 4. Now, that removes the possibility of this being a 1 and this being a 4, but it does not tell us that this isn't a 1, 4 or that it is a 2, 3 yet. Now, is there anything else that we can say about that introduction we just had? Now, since we know this is a 17, well, we know it's 26. We don't have to go back to the 17. We know this is 10. We're at 36 already, which means these two digits have to equal 9 in some way to get us to 45. Now, we know we can't do 8-1 or 5-4 because they're taken. So it tells us that these two digits are either a 7-2 or a 6-3. I don't know that that's super helpful. Oops. Wow, I just smacked the heck out of my mic. I don't know if you guys heard that or not. Hopefully not. I was trying to just reach up and scratch my ear a little bit. Good job from me. Okay, well, I do know that this now can't be a 1. Because if this was a 1, this would force this to be a 9. So this is not 1, so this is not 4. And now I've got an itch on the other side. I could put the possibilities here, but they don't seem to do much. Now, is there some other page that's clear as to what must go in it? Looking around at 8 cage, sort of, but not really. There's multiple ways to make an 8. The 23, if it had been a 3 cage, would have been very nice, but as a 4 cage, it's not quite so. Anything else? There was a 16 cage up here, I just saw that. This has to be 9 and 7. No other way to make 16 with 2 digits. What else? This 22 cage must have, it's a 3-cell 22 cage, so it has to have a 9 in it. Otherwise, you get 876, which equals 21. So therefore, one of these has to be a 9, but we've got a 9 pointing at it here, and we've got a 9 pointing at it here, so this is a 9. Which then tells us we have to have a 9 in our 20 cage. We could also state that we have to have a 1 in our 8 cage. Will that do us much good? I don't see it doing that right now, so let's kind of continue elsewhere. Now, is there anything we can rule out from these two possible? Because we've already got a 9 in our 22 gauge, so the rest of them have to equal up to 13. Now, we can't use a 7 because it's looking at us, so we can't do 6, 7. We could do, I guess the only other way to make 13 would be 8 and 5, right? Yeah, because 6, 7 doesn't work, and then clearly you can't do 9, 4 because we're already using a 9. So this must be 8 and 5. And we've got a 5 here, so that should tell us what we've got. I just want to make sure I did that correctly. Yes, it looks like I did. So 8 and 5. Okay, so now we know there has to be a 5 also in this 20 cage. So we can tell us, we know it's in the 20 cage total now. We know it's 9 and 5, which gives us 14, so therefore we need another 6 to finish it off. So we've got 5, 6, and 9. We've got 1, 2, 3, and 4, but not fully realized. This 8 pointing down here does tell us there has to be an 8 in the 15 cage. Now, if there has to be an 8, we only have 7 left. And this could never be a 2, because you'd have to put a 5 with it. So that gets rid of a 2 here and a 3 here. If this is a 3, we have to put a, well, we just got ourselves a 1, 2 pair here now. So let's get rid of this 2, just to show that for a second. Now, we said we had to still have 8 or 7 left over because we already have an 8. This is 3, we have to have a 4 with it, and if it's 4, we have to have a 3 with it, so this is an 8, 3, 4 triple, which means this has to be a 7, and therefore this can't be a 7. 1, 2, this has to be of 3 and 6. Let's put that in. So if this has to have 3 and 4, this clearly can't have a 3 in it. Can we do anything with this 15 clue? Because we already got a 7 in it. So we know we have 8 left over. So if we have a 3 here, we have to put a 5 here. And if we have a 6 here, we have to put a 2 here. Not super. Now in this 26 cage, we know we have to have an 8 somewhere. Now we've got a 9 and an 8, so we're up to 17 already, which means we have to have 9 left over. But we had 9 left over here, so I don't think we're going to get a whole lot there at the moment. Although we might, because we've got this 5 and 6 looking at it. So let's take a look at that again. So we have to have 9 left over, because we've got 9 and an 8 in one of these, which is 17. To get to 26, we need 9 more. Now we can't do 6, 3. We've got 6 looking at it. We can't do 5, 4. We've got a 5 looking at it, and 1 here. We can't do 8, 1, because we've already used an 8. So therefore, we have to do 7, 2. And there we go. So this is going to be an 8, 7, 2 triple, which is going to just give us our 6 and our 3. Now that we have a 3 here, we can just put a 5 here, and we can remove 3, 3. So this just has to be 4, 1, and that's going to give us our 2 and our 1 and our 2. Hey, get back here, 2. This now has to be a 3 because this is a 5 clue, so these are not 3, so we can get rid of those marks for now. Now we know what these two digits are. They have to be 2 and 7, which is 9 plus 6 does equal 15, so that works out. This 3 sees this. Let's just put the 6 here. Let's get rid of our 8 notations there. And we know this has to be from 1, 3, and 4. The only digits left, plus they also do equal to 8, so that works out just fine. Let's do some cleanup here if we can. And that seemed to be the only bit of cleanup that we could do. So where do we keep moving from here? Now, if we know this is a 4, this has to be a 6 because these two equal 10. I don't know. Can we do anything useful here? What I'm trying to look at is there certain kind of there are digits that we can remove from the possibility of 23, and I don't think there is because it's the 4 cell 23. So we couldn't say, well, there's no 2 in here because we could still get these other 3 digits up to 20 quite easily. So that might not be a great place to look. Other clues that we have are as such. We've got 10 left over down here. And we can't use 8, 2, or 7, 3. Now there could still be a 9, 1, or a 6, 4. Clearly this can't be 4, this can't be 1. If this can't be 4, this can't be 6. If this can't be 1, this can't be 9. Again, it's kind of not really giving us good information. It's just kind of giving us options. So let's see if we can find something a bit more concrete. Now, maybe we can look at this 8 here, because we've now removed two possibilities. There's only 3 possibilities of making 8 in a 2-cell cage. That's either 7, 1, 6, 2, or 5, 3. We removed the 6, 2, and the 5, 3 with the 2's and the 3's here's. 2's and 3's here's. Wow, good English, my man. So this is going to have to be a 7, 1. And if that's a 7, 1, this is 6 and this is 4. And we can get rid of that 6 right there. Now, these 2 digits, well, let's look here. No, there isn't anything there just yet. This 1 and 7 just means this has to be either a 9 or a 3, but nothing's ruling that out yet. So these 2 digits, what are they? They are from 5, 8, and 9. Now, this digit clearly can never be 8 or 9. If it's 9, it's clearly not the smallest digit, because this is one of these clues now. We said that this digit right here has to be smaller than all of its adjacent digits. So obviously this, we've got a 1, 7 here. If this was 9, it wouldn't ever get below those. If it was 8, it would never get below those. So these have to be 5, which forces 9, 6, 5. It's going to tell us this is 8, and it's going to tell us that this has to be higher than 5, so therefore this has to be 7, 1, and then we get a 3. Now, Everything is adding up in our cages so far, which is always a good sign. Do we have enough in this 25 cage to do anything? We've got 8 in already, so we need 17 more. There's only one way to make 17 in 2 digits, which is 9 and 8. So therefore this must be 9 and this must be 8. And that will finish that out. We can now finish the 4 and the 8 because we've got Sudoku on our side. And we're going to be able to put a digit here because we've got 3 digits here, which have to be 3, 6, and so not 6, 3, 7, and 9. So that's 19. So this has to be a 1. Now these can't be 7 because that's 7 right there. So this is 7. 7, please work. Thank you. This 7 down here is pointing up here, so we can finish that 9, 7 pair off. What do we have left? Well, this digit is going to be a given, and so are the other 2 then. So this has to be 6. Now, these 8 and 6 equal together to 14, so this has to be 4. And this is going to have to be 2, because all that's left over in this box. And so that is done. These are done. Okay, our clues are mostly going pretty well. Maybe now we can start delving into this, because we know they have to be from 2, 7, 8, and 5. This can't be 7. This can't be 2 or 5. This can't be 8. Is that going to give us anything for our 23? Well, this actually, the 2 removes the 2 here as well. Because you can't repeat digits in a cage. So, can we rule out one of these? If we were to put a 5 in here, the most we can get out of these 3 cells is going to be 5, 8, and 2, which is 15. And then this digit would have to be an 8, but that breaks it because you can't repeat that 8. So this is going to have to be, well, no, that's not necessarily, well, we can't rule out the 5. We can rule out it's not 5, 8. If we were to do 5 and 7, that gives us 12 plus 2 is 14. This would be a 9. So let's kind of put these items in here. And now we know it can't be 5, 8. We've done 5, 7. So what if it was 7, 8? That gives us 17. This would have to be a 6 and it would break. So this actually is 9. This is 5. This is 7. This, what are we getting rid of? Sorry. This can't be 5. This can't be 7. So we've got a 2, 8 pair there. This 9 means this has to be a 1. We know what these digits now have to be. They have to be from 2, 3, and 7. And does that add up to 12? Yes, it does. This is not 7. If this was 3, it would force this to be 7, which it can't be. And well, it can't be for 2 different reasons, but the easiest way is to look at this Sudoku looking at this. The other way would be if this was 3, this had to be 7. And where do you put a 7? Up here, you can't. So no 3, which means this is either equal to 8 or 3. And there's nothing, well, it can't be 3, clearly. So the same reasoning that I didn't follow through with about why you couldn't put a 3 here is the exact same reason you can't put a 7 here. So this has to be 2. Therefore, this has to be 8. This then is 3 and 7. And we get our doot up in the corner. And now we can finally finish our 2 7s over here. And these can't be, this can't be a 3. We've got a 9 now total here, so this has to be 3 to finish off. What do we have left in this column? We need to put a 1 somewhere, so there has to be a 1 up in here. Up in there. We've got to put a 4 somewhere, and it can't go here, so it has to go up here. Okay, so these are a 1, 4 pair. This has to be 6, which is the only digit left possible for that column. And then these 2 digits in the box have to be 6 and 5, and we've got a 6 looking at it, so this is 5 and 6. 5 plus 4 equals 9. 6 plus 5 is 11, so this is 5. This 4 is ruled out. I didn't check to see if this 4 was set, but it's not, so that's fine. These 3 digits we know, they're 2, 8, and 4. This can't be 4, so this is 4. What's left up here now? Because it looks like it's going to start encroaching around and then back into the middle. Maybe that's how it's going to work, but that's somewhat conjecture. Well, we know what these 2 digits are because we've got a 1-4 pair here and the rest are given. So these have to be from 2 and 6. We've got a 2 down here. We had a 6 down there as well. So that's 6 and 2. We know these 2 now equal 8, and we have to get to 16. So this is 8. Nope, nothing looking down there. We know what these digits are. They are from 1, 3, and 9. And we can use our lesser value clue to say this clearly can't be a 9. Was there anything looking at it on the other side? 1, 3, 9. Well, this can't be 1. Can we make anything else with that? Because if this was a 3, this could just be a 9. Well, that doesn't work. There we go. Just saying it out loud is all it takes sometimes. If this is 3, this has to be 9 because we have to have this digit be higher than this one. And clearly you couldn't put a 1 here if this was a 3. So 3, 9 would break this clue right here. So this cannot be 3, 9. So this has to be 1. Now, it could still be 1, 3 or 1, 9. Depending, but we do have some digits now across this side. We can start typing things in. 1, 4, 3 are all good to go. Now 1 and 4 are determined. Sorry, my nose is itchy today. What are these 2 digits? Because there's only 2 left over. They are from 5 and 8. Does that add up? 5, 8 and 4 is 12 plus 5 is 17. Yes, it does. And we've got a 5 looking at it. So this is 8 and 5. This cannot be 8. All right. What can these digits be? So we need to put a 2 in here. So if we need to put a 2 in there, and it goes with a 6, that's 8. So then we need 9 more to get to 17. So this is 2, 9. And what that's going to do is give us our 3 and our 9, and our 3 and our 9. And then we are going to be left with 3 and 7. That looks right. 3 and 7 is 10, plus 1 is 11, so that's right too. So this is 7, this is 3, and this is going to finish our puzzle. 2, 8, 7, 9, 2, 8, 2. And there you go. It looks as good as far as I can tell. It just doesn't have a solution included. So that one was a lot of fun. At first, it looked a little bit intimidating because of the entirety of the grid was covered, and you had to kind of find a couple spots where you could make some headway. But really enjoyed that one. Thank you, Gren P78. Excellent puzzle, summer killer. Hope you all enjoyed it as well. Thanks. Bye.